What's going on, people? Real quick before we get this video started, this video is done completely off the cuff, so you'll be hearing me stutter, repeating myself multiple times, and probably mispronouncing the Falcom president's name a lot. So please forgive me for that. Also, more information about this game is being translated or being released as time goes on, so there's probably going to be more accurate translations of this Famitsu article that I'm going to be pretty much reading the tidbits on, and there will probably be a lot more screenshots and images of the game released as time goes on. I'll have them edited in the video as much as I can before I can actually get this video up, but trust me, I probably know about it and I'm probably analyzing it as much as you are. So with that all out the way, let's get started. What's going on, everybody? It's your Shadow here, and man, oh man, do we need to talk. We just got a good amount of information released about the next Legend of Heroes game called The Legend of Heroes Kuro no Kiseki. Interesting name. So this information comes in the way of Famitsu, as you guys can see on screen, and they got it from the weekly Famitsu. So we're just going to go through all these tidbits real quick, and I'm just going to give you my 2 cents about it. Quick disclaimer here is for you guys in the comment section, please do not spoil Hajimari no Kiseki if you played it or if you already know about it. The game has not come out in English. I have not played the game yet, so I would not want to see in my comments spoilers for the game. I'll try to be a little bit more careful when it comes to Cold Steel 4 spoilers. I don't think it's going to I don't think any of this information is going to spoil Cold Steel 4, but just in case, I will be as lenient as I can with that. As a matter of fact, I think I'll just go back and mute the parts that I might spoil Cold Steel 4 in any way, shape, or form, but I don't think it's going to come to that. Okay, so the first thing we notice is that the game is going to launch in Japan in 2021. That's next year. The platforms were not announced. We can take a guess, as it's probably going to be released on PS4, maybe PS5. Probably when it comes to the States, it'll probably be released on Switch and the PC. So let's just get right into the first bullet points here. The game is set in the Republic. The game is set in the Republic of Calvert, the east side of the continent, in the year S1208. So we already knew that Calvert was probably more than likely going to be the focus for the next mainline Trails game, and that seems to be confirmed here. Really interested to see Calvert and to see how their city is ran, their continent is ran. Let's go to the next one. The title is derived from the Japanese word daybreak. This is reflected in the colors associated with the main protagonist. Okay. The story is focused on characters who can be described as somewhat in the gray zone of society: a detective, a negotiator, and a bounty hunter, etc. That's interesting how they mentioned gray zone, because I just got done playing Yakuza Like a Dragon and there was a lot of gray zone talk. That's basically the lines between good and evil, or what's legally allowed and what's not, basically like loopholes or something like that. So it should be interesting to see how that plays out. Kondo said it would be nice if Legend of Heroes Hajimari no Kiseki was titled Shiro no Kiseki, Tales of White, instead, to complement Kuro no Kiseki. Okay, that's a pretty interesting tidbit. The game engine is brand new. Okay, so let's just stop right here real quick. The engine being brand new, really good thing, especially for me, because I feel when this series moved to PS3, or rather, I guess PS4. Well, I guess you want to get technical, because when the series started going 3D basically, and it was on Vita, the engine on that was kind of limited to the specifications of the Vita, obviously. And then when it made the jump to PS4, Cold Steel 3, the graphics got a nice little bump. But honestly, it was kind of the same engine in my opinion, but running at a much higher setting. I would say like the PS Vita Cold Steel 1 and 2, that game was built from the ground up for that platform, was kind of like medium settings, And then Cold Steel 3 and, you know, Cold Steel 4, the engine is kind of like running on ultra settings or something like that. You know, there's a lot less, there's more texture, the frame rate is better, and, you know, there's a lot more anti-aliasing and stuff like that. So the game engine being brand new is really good in my opinion. Character modeling has evolved. There's significantly different feel from when the character is in motion. Okay, that should be interesting because I feel like in all the Trails games, especially the Cold Steel games, well, actually the Cold Steel games to be more precise, is that the motion for characters have been the same. Like they kind of have the same thinking expression, they have the same surprised look, they got the same, you know, taken aback look, I guess you could say, and it's been the same throughout Cold Steel 1 to pretty much Cold Steel 4. So the motion, I don't know if that's what they're necessarily saying, but I'm hoping that's the case of what I'm thinking. Okay, Calvert is a cultural sphere in the vein of Eastern Europe with an influx of people from Middle East, and it feels like a mixture of Europe and Asia. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Again, I've always wanted to see what Calvert was like, so that should be an interesting look. It is somewhat small compared to Erebonia. The scale of the map is equivalent to that of the Cold Steel series. It is still in development, but Kondo believes it will be very close in terms of size. Being somewhat small compared to Erebonia, I think is kind of a welcome change, to me at least. I liked how the games, especially the crossbow games, were kind of intimate when it came to crossbow. You just had the crossbow providence, and that was really it. There was really no other scope, even though we've heard about, you know, Erebonia and passing in the game, but it was a nice, more intimate feeling when playing the game that we were only in the crossbow providence, and we got to really see the problems that crossbow was having, all the corruption and whatnot. So maybe Calvert would be just as intimate as, you know, crossbow was, of course, in my opinion. You could say the additional episode of Hajimari no Saki, forgive me if I mispronounced that, and Hajimari no Kiseki acts as a prologue to Kuro no Kiseki. Again, I don't know anything about Hajimari no Kiseki. I don't know what that additional episode is about. Please do not spoil it to me in the comments section. That'd be great. I'm just gonna completely overlook that one here and probably be shocked when this new game releases. Okay, next one. 90% of characters in Kuro no Kiseki are new. Oh, okay. This is very good. Okay, this is very good. I'm gonna tell you why in a second. Let me read the rest. 90% of the characters in Kuro no Kiseki are new. If you did not know any better, you might look at the game screen and not realize it is a Trails game. Very good. The remaining 10% of the cast will be characters that are highly anticipated by fans. Okay, this whole thing right there, really good. I'm gonna say this right now. I really enjoyed Cold Steel 4, but after that game, I'm kind of a tad bit tired of the Trails in the Sky and Crossbell and Cold Steel cast. I love them, don't get me wrong, but really I am tired of seeing them at this point, and I think Hajimari no Kiseki is gonna be even worse for me personally because I hear there's just more of the same characters. But yeah, when I said I think I said in my review that I'm getting a little bit tired of these characters, and it's a good thing that Kuro no Kiseki is introducing a bunch of new characters. Thank you, appreciate that. Like sometimes, especially in my viewpoint, it's time to move on. Like I've seen these characters enough. I've seen Estelle and Joshua, Lloyd, Reen, Emma, Fee, Sarah. I've seen them all enough. I love them all. I even love Patrick. If you don't know who Patrick is, you're only playing the series right. But yeah, okay, I'm done with seeing these characters. It's time to move on. Trying to get some fresh faces in here, all right? So that's good for me. 3 characters have been revealed so far. A Kirito-looking character. A Kirito-looking character? Like, the only character I know is from Sword Art Online. So is that what they're talking about? I guess. A dual wielding redhead character with a Middle Eastern appearance. Okay, dual wielding. All right, we always like this. I always like dual wielders. A character that looks like Alicia minus the attitude and with the chest of Ryza. Okay, we really can. Okay, this is definitely Kirito, and this is Ryza. Who remembers Ryza's chest? I don't remember Ryza's chest. You always remember that thick thigh saves lives with Ryza. Hold on, let me take a look at Ryza's chest real quick. Hold up. Well, let's get a good picture of it. Okay, that's a figure. I guess here is good. I would say Ryza has, okay, this is even better. Okay, so I would say Ryza has like kind of a decent sized bust, I guess. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, I think she's a little bit on the big side, but not like, you know, terribly big, because I think, what's her name, Lila or Lily? I forgot her name. She has a modest bust size. Ryza is bigger, so okay, we'll just stop there. Sirius gonna get demonetized. All right, so let's keep going. Chest with the size of Ryza. Okay, you got it, Chief. Kondo would not say which one is the protagonist, though it is obvious if you record the earlier note about the character protagonist's colors associated. It says something about Daybreak. I don't think we have character images available just yet, so I think it will be clear when we see those. Let's move on to the next one. Fans would be disappointed if the society was not depicted. Kondo also was unable to comment on the oaths, but each would be depicted properly. Okay, so in Cold Steel 4, we got to learn a lot more about the society and oaths. I'm not sure what oaths are. Maybe I missed something in Cold Steel 4, or maybe that was something that was revealed in Hajimari no Kiseki. I'm not sure. You could let me know in the comment section if oaths are related to Hajimari no Kiseki. Maybe there's something in the Legend of Heroes lore that I'm not remembering quite, but that's the only thing about Hajimari no Kiseki I want to see in the comment section. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. The game will have a proper ending. Okay, cool. In most Legend of Hero games, some of them have like huge cliffhanger endings, like Cold Steel 1 and Cold Steel 3, and I think Sky 1 and such. Yeah, this one seems to have a really proper ending, which is ideal. I don't like cliffhanger endings, and I know the Japanese did not appreciate the cliffhanger ending of Cold Steel 3. So it's good that they're having a proper ending, and you know, it's good that they said ending, like one ending, because Cold Steel 4 had a normal ending and a true ending. So I kind of don't want there to be any conflicts there. Have one ending. Stick to your guns on this one, Falcom, okay? Just, you know, stick to your guns. All right. So if a game does not sell well, there will not be, oh shit. If a game does not sell well, there will not be a sequel, and the Trail series is no exception. Okay, hold on. We got to talk about this real quick. You know, because it's always interesting, especially from a content creator standpoint. Sometimes I wonder to myself, how do I sell this game to people? How does Falcom make their money for this series, especially when it comes to like Cold Steel 3 and 4? Cold Steel 3, you may have had some leeway in telling fans, oh, you can read the backstory in the menu or something like that, and that'll get you all up to speed. No, it really doesn't. And Cold Steel 4, please, as I said in my review, the game does not care about your feelings. The game is not holding your freaking hand, so you really need to play all the other games to play Cold Steel 4, and that puts a high barrier of entry on this series. So that pretty much, you know, almost not kills sales, but you know, it kind of hurts potential sales, you know. So you can't have somebody just walk into Cold Steel 4 at all. You can't have somebody just walk into Cold Steel 3 no matter what they say. And yeah, so it's weird because this whole series kind of depends on you playing almost all the entries in the series to understand what's going on in the latest. But I think this one is also going to be a good starting point as well, with 90% of the characters being new. So that's good in and of itself. So hopefully this game sells really good. If it wants to sell, I think you're going to have to put it on Switch. And you should probably just put it on PC even in Japan when the game releases in Japan. And you definitely got to put it on PS4 because, you know, even though the PS5 is out right now, not that many people, you know, at the time of this video when it goes up, they don't have that many PS5s. And, you know, even like the year that this game comes out next year, there's not going to be that many PS5s in people's hands as there already are PS4 in people's hands. So you know, it's got to come out on PS4 no matter what. And it definitely should come out on Switch. And as I mentioned earlier, it should definitely be on PC via Steam if you want to get the most sales there. So this is kind of scary. If this game, it looks like if this game does abysmal, there might not be another Trails game for a while. Who knows? That's a little bit scary. That's really scary to think about. All right, let's move on from the depression bullet point. The amount of content in the game is equal to a single Trails of Cold Steel title. Okay, cool. That's good. The Trails of Cold Steel games had a large number of allies, but Kuro no Kiseki will not have as many due to the protagonist's line of work. Okay, so there was a lot of characters in the Cold Steel games, and one of the things I've seen a lot of people complain about in a little bit in Cold Steel 3, but a lot in Cold Steel 4, where there's just so many freaking characters, which, you know, a JRPG doesn't need a lot of characters. JRPGs have always had small casts from like maybe 8, maybe 10 people max for their cast, and that has always been good. You don't need a bunch of characters to freaking, you know, tell a story. And then you start to lose focus on each character's motivations, and just this story in general. So that's really good. Instead, there will be more enemies. Okay, that's cool. There will not be 50 playable characters. Okay, again, as I mentioned before, this is really good, especially when it comes to game balancing that doesn't have 50 playable characters. A lot of people didn't appreciate the balancing in Cold Steel 3 and 4. I can't exactly remember the problems with it, but honestly, I couldn't really blame Falcom for how they created Cold Steel 3 and especially Cold Steel 4. After all this time, after playing all the games and spending all the time with these characters, you want to be able to use the characters that you want to use. You don't want to have to go into a boss battle and realize, oh, I can't use Eustace Alberea, or I can't use Machias in this battle. If people love Eustace and Machias, they should be able to use them throughout the entire game because they love those characters. So, you know, when it came to the balancing, I understand where it was probably just, you know, make a pretty, maybe a broken setup, or you can just customize the characters to your like. Everybody can be customized at will to whatever you want it, pretty much, except, you know, you can't make a magic user a physical user for the most part, but you know, you get the idea. So the fact that, again, this is a smaller cast, it should have the game more balanced, you know. Okay, there is a screenshot of a battle scene. I don't think as of the time of this video going up there's a screenshot for the battle scene up somewhere. Maybe I'll edit this video in post. Movement and battles are seamless. Okay, this might be a video I have to make in the future. I don't understand what the problem is, or what developers see the problem is with a transition into battle. I think back in the day, especially on maybe PS1, PS2, maybe even going far beyond that, was maybe it was the load time that happened between moving from the field to moving to, I guess, a battle arena or battle area, I guess you could say. But nowadays with SSDs and, you know, how much RAM these consoles got, and, you know, PCs builds in general, the move from field to battle is completely like non-existent. I would rather take a transition to a battle area that is more ideal for combat than having a game that just doesn't have, you know, battles are just taking place on screen, and you have potential hazards, not hazards, but, you know, objects in your way blocking your path and whatnot, fences, trees, or something, maybe walls. We see how in Tales of Systeria that went completely terrible. And more recently in Yakuza Like a Dragon, for me, there were some instances where the environment got in my way from getting to my opponent, even though I think Yakuza Like a Dragon handled that pretty well. But yeah, I'm probably going to make a video about that later. If you get this far in the video, let me know if you're interested in a video like that. Okay, so while action elements have been added, Falcom is not considering anything that requires any sort of input skills. So I'm guessing like maybe timing, or like, I guess, I'm not sure like how to put this. Maybe like you know, something that's skill based, you know, something that you're really gonna have to, you know, do like a quarter circle dragon punch or something like that, quarter circle heavy punch or something like that. I'm not sure. Probably like maybe just like, you know, what do they call those things? God, I cannot remember the things that Resident Evil 4 used that pioneered the whole gaming industry, and, you know, a whole bunch of games use it at the time. God, quick time events. Probably some quick time events. Probably something that Yakuza Like a Dragon did. Something like that. It always kept you in battle. Always had you pressing the A button or the B button to block if need be. So that's pretty cool. If it's something like that. I'm not sure what action elements even mean. I'm really curious to see the battle system for this game. Commands are input in real time instead of pausing. Okay, interesting. Put in real time instead of pausing. Interesting. Guys, here's the thing, people. And I did not highlight this part. Now I'm talking about. Here's the thing, people. I'll just say this real quick. The game industry literally wants to move away from turn-based combat because turn-based combat does not sell. Well, of course, you can look at examples like Persona 5, but if you're really trying to get your game to come to a new audience, Persona has already got a built-in audience of Persona 4, and then Persona 5 also has that. And the next Persona game is also probably going to have turn-based combat, maybe. But if you're a new not a new IP, but if you're a game series that's trying to really broaden your horizon when it comes to getting new people into your series, turn-based is probably not the way you want to go. People look at turn-based and they probably say, oh, I don't understand how people can just sit there and just wait for somebody to attack or something like that. It's strategy, people. It's tactics, you people. It's tactical. Oh my God. But yeah, the majority of people, casuals, people trying to get into RPGs for the first time, they don't care about turn-based. So that's why you see turn-based maybe seeing slow decline. You will also have the option to switch to command style battles. Okay, so probably something that Final Fantasy 15 tried and failed at, so probably you'll be able to do that. Or something along the lines of Dragon Quest 11. There was like you can free roam. You had two options in which you can free roam in combat and just attack, or you can just have it like a traditional turn-based battle system where you don't move and you just, inputting commands. So it's probably going to be something akin to that. Arts and crafts will remain as they were, but Arctis is replaced by Zen 4. I have no idea what that is. They probably mentioned it. I'm pretty sure they mentioned it in Cold Steel 3 and 4, but I don't know what that means. It's going to be basically the Arctis. Okay, not a big deal. There are no combat links or brave warriors. Okay, interesting. There is a new system in place that is said to be quite amazing. Okay, I can't say what that is, but if you're not going to have combat links or brave warriors, that's going to be quite a big takeaway from the Trail series up until this point. So hopefully the new systems that they're replacing them with are going to be good. There is a topic system that has to do with NPC conversations. That has to do with conversations with NPCs. Okay, I guess each NPC you run into, there's going to be like a option for each one to talk about stuff. I have no idea. Alignment Flame is a system in which, depending on your playstyle, your character's alignment as lawful gray. Okay, we going to Shin Megami Tensei. We going into Shin Megami Tensei world here. Okay, alignment as lawful gray and chaotic will change, influencing your stats as well as the story. Okay, as well as the story. Honestly, I'm not expecting huge changes from the story, to be honest, because it's gonna have a proper ending. So I don't expect it for these choices to impact your ending. Probably some of the dialogue is going to change, is what I'm guessing. But there will not be any situation where the events does not occur due to your specific alignment. Okay, yeah. So basically, I said okay. Interesting. Again, Shin Megami Tensei vibes from that one. There is an alternative to bond events. Interesting. Okay. All right. Not gonna have outright bond events, but it's gonna be something similar. Probably like confidants and social links or something like that. As for platforms, Kundo says he would like to release it on PS4 as well as other platforms where there is demand. He said since there are usual technical challenges, we will consider starting where there's the most demand. Really? Okay, before I get into that, let's just read the last one. Neon Finecom as a whole is making preparations to support PS5. Okay, cool. Okay, so these two bullet points right here. As I said in earlier, is that this game doesn't sell well, there will not be another Trails game. So you gotta put it on PS4. As I said earlier, PS4 has the most install base as of the recording of this video. There's like 100 million PS4s out in the wild. You gotta put it on PS4, and it's gotta run well on PS4. Look at you, Cyberpunk 2077. So yes, maybe this game won't be as technically advanced as it could be, because if it was made on PS5, it will probably maybe be, you know, graphically amazing, maybe, just maybe. But it's probably being held back because they want to put it on PS4, and you have to if you want to see another game in the series, because that's going to impact sales. So yes, you're going to have to put it on PS5 and PS4, but especially PS4. And as I said before, definitely on Switch, and you might want to do even a Steam PC release when it drops in Japan. So yeah, guys, that's all the bullet points for this new Trails game dump. Kuro no Kiseki. Okay, I guess you could say Trails of Black. I'm gonna call it Trails of Black because that's the outright freaking translation for this one. Okay, all right. So yeah, hopefully you guys stick around long enough. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about all this. Really curious to see some screenshots. Maybe some screenshots will be added while I'm editing this video. I'll probably add them in post. And we'll see what goes on from here. I'm really curious to see Calvard. Want to see how they handle that. Want to see all the new characters. If there are reoccurring characters, they said 10% will be reoccurring characters. I would love to see Emma. Would love to see Sarah. Would love to see Fee. Ring can come along too. Lloyd could be there as well. Definitely would like to see Estelle. We gotta give Kevin a shout out, because Kevin, I feel, it was sort of a missed opportunity. I want to see a little bit more of Kevin. So yeah, that's it for now. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Subscribe, of course, if you're new to the channel. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this, and turn on notifications if you want to see when I'm going live or have a new video up. I got more videos coming soon, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.